Ding dong! I love that.
The gang's back together.
Sort of. I'm really back.
I know. Oh.
Yeah. Hi.
Oh my gosh. Oh, let's do that. Ren.
Complete the heart.
Yeah.
There
Wait
you
a
go.
second.
I feel like backward. That's terrible. Anyway.
I can do this. I'm starting to look like I'm doing the where's my heart? You gotta bring it this way. You gotta bring it this way. There's no heart. You broke it. Broken heart.
I broke your heart.
I know, it's okay.
Everybody's heart.
Yeah, there's going to be more of that to come. We were on the Rail Talk show that just came out this morning, and I have a feeling that history might repeat itself a little bit. When it comes to a particular horse in the field, I'm excited to get in the middle of that dogfight between the two of you. But...
yeah,
Alexa and I are
Rachel's internet was really, having the struggle, so she came to join me here, which I won't complain. Love ya. Always glad to have you.
Thank you for taking me in.
Anytime.
For context, so we're all headed to the Kentucky Derby. Alexa has tickets to go now, so the whole squad, we're going to be out in various capacities, and naturally, when you have any sort of event to prepare for as a woman, spray tan. So I reek of spray tan right now next to Alexa. So she's a real friend.
I wasn't going to shame
while I'm getting saturated in this for
you're going to glow
the next 6 hours.
You're going to be beautiful.
I could have looked out of place. I didn't spray tan.
Girl,
I'm
That's fine. We'll reflect the sun back at everyone.
It'll be fine.
It's okay.
No, but so for those of you who don't know how this all began, was we had a really fun show this whole fall. God, I did it again. I did it again. Spring meet. I think it's because I want to do it again this fall. Maybe that's the case. No, but the spring meet at Keeneland, we were live every Friday, just having a blast, giving out mad winners. Interviewing lots of cool people throughout the industry, not all handicapping people. We had people from the Ed Brown Society, lots of people from Keeneland. We had owners, we had Women's Summit there. It was just a total blast. And we want to show you some of the highlights from our Keeneland weekend kickoff.
We're going to toast to you as we kick things off here.
Do I or do I not have a turvis full of burgoo?
I'm naturally eccentric.
Brunette bonanza. See, this is difficult because I don't want to break a nail. Ooh. But I want to give you a good experience.
Oh.
That was juicy.
There was nothing.
Yo, we're going in the race now and feeling so fine. I really like the one named Raging C.
As Raging C will win the Baird Double Dog Dare Stakes.
I'm sorry. Is any other broadcast giving you this quality content?
No, that's why you tune in with us.
Exactly. Alexa having a day. Alexa.
What have I said? I'm amazing. I mean, but seriously, 12-1. Man,
Great call.
12 to freaking 1. And it wasn't
That was
even
amazing.
close.
No.
Can I just say we're not just pretty faces? We just gave you a 6-1 winner. We gave you an exacta.
Trifecta if the two got up.
Trifecta if the two got up.
You're welcome.
I mean, hello? Right?
We are the Brunette Bonanza who also gives you winners.
That picture.
Oh my gosh. Do you want to share the context of that picture?
Okay, so I in high school was really into the Kardashians, shock, and I photoshopped my face into the photo that Alexa used. And I don't know how I even accomplished that at
Good Photoshop job. It's a really good Photoshop job.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Clearly, I needed a hobby at that point in time. But when we all got set up in a group chat, and I was like, wait a minute, we're all brunettes. Was this a missed opportunity? And someone referenced the Kardashians. And I was like, hold, please. I have a receipt to show you of my Photoshop face in with Courtney, Chloe, and Kim.
And I said, hold my beer. Give me a minute. It took me a lot longer than a minute, but I photoshopped the rest of us on there and changed it instead of keeping up with the Kardashians to keeping up with Keeneland. And it slays. It's hilarious.
It does. And
I still laugh at. We have to laugh at ourselves, right? Like that's,
we think we're hilarious. And that's literally all that matters. Sorry.
Exactly.
But what a fun show it's been, because like as you clearly outlined in that clip, my gosh, not only are we having all this fun and having all these cool guests from various facets of the industry, we're giving out winners, and not just like short price winners. I mean, you had your double digit 12-1. We had like exactas. We gave
out mad winners.
We were
Lego Demo. I mean, we gave out mad winners that whole time, which was awesome. I don't know. Obviously, I work for the Daily Racing Forum. I do stuff on quality assurance side as well as content, doing analysis of races. And I got introduced to racing through handicapping, through doing competitive tournaments. So that is my bread and butter, of course. That is why we are here too. But naturally, we need to
give a close up to the camera. You got to do one of these.
The whole. What is that for? To like block the light so people can see the label better?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just what the kids do.
This is a gift.
I'm gonna leave it to you to actually pop it off, but we're participating.
You're gonna do a live pop off?
Yeah, we're doing it.
Oh, there's a cork and everything. Okay.
Oh my God,
are you experienced?
Cover your eyes.
I don't think I've ever done it. Okay.
Pointed away from the computer.
Gift from my good friend Stephanie Hronis, who we had on the
that's
show.
So nice.
So here we go. I'm gonna set it down. I need to
away from the computer. Away from the computer.
And away from the eyeballs.
I'm not gonna actually pop it. Am I gonna pop it?
No.
Well, no, because the pressure. Once you wiggle that cork, the pressure.
I'm having a panic.
Pop it up.
Clearly,
I can't sweat. It's gonna streak the spray can. I can't do it. And also, don't spray me with it.
Oh my god.
Okay.
How am I so bad at this?
Okay, you just got to get the wire thing off.
Okay.
And watch your nails. You don't want to chip a nail. You got Derby coming up.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm so excited. And honestly, shout out to Ren.
The wire thing is off here.
Okay.
There we go.
It's not coming.
It's
And for this.
Yes.
Lily's glasses. I love it.
We are on brand here. We are so on brand. And this, the 143rd Kentucky Oaks, this is the only Kentucky Derby Oaks I've been to
2017
until this year. Yeah, in 2017, which low-key was the very first horse race I've ever been to.
That's amazing.
And I had no idea what was going on at all. I brought somebody as like a gift, and because they loved horse racing. And so I had zero concept of what was going on. And clearly I caught the bug.
Yes.
Caught the horse racing bug. So here we are. Pour you a drink.
Thank you.
Everyone is enjoying their Wednesday evening.
Okay.
We're drinking while we...
And don't worry, everybody, I would be imbibing. However, we do have closing day at Tampa coming up, and I still have to handicap Tampa, so I'm staying sober.
Mm-hmm. She's breaking out that water, which is fine. It's good.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Stephanie, thank you.
She kills it. She kills it. But, okay, if you tuned into our shows, specifically the last two, you will know that we had an ongoing battle of Derby trivia.
Oh, God.
And I have tasked Rachel with doing it again, which is kind of hard to come up with this many Derby trivia
I
questions.
know. We're now going on. This is going to be third round of Derby trivia.
It's so random.
You want to slip in some past questions.
You can slip in some good ones, and we'll just both get a point.
I'm not going to jump the buzzer this time.
Occasionally.
Yeah, Ren can't cheat. She cheated last time. And it wasn't really cheating because, well, it was cheating, but it gave me the advantage because she would answer out in excitement and agony.
I'm supposed to wait till all the possible answers are given, and I can't help myself sometimes.
Like when you scream out an answer and then it's also one of the multiple choice questions, like, of course you're right. And then I actually didn't know that one. That one was who.
You didn't? You didn't? I gave it for free?
You gave it for free. That's what I'm telling you. It was what rapper owned a Derby horse.
Yeah.
It was MC Hammer.
MC
And
Hammer, a horse named Dance Floor. And I think it got 3rd or 4th.
Which, okay, you saw a little bit of our rapper, Raging
Yes.
C over here.
Going into race 9.
Feeling
So fun.
Truly incredible. I mean, she has pipes like you wouldn't even believe it. So
Sang Ren happy birthday on our show. Honestly, if you guys weren't watching, what are you darn? But that's why we're back once again to bless you with some fun content. This trivia is for everybody. So get in on the comments.
yeah, we'll post you on the screen.
We're gonna get into our Derby analysis, but naturally we want to start off with some fun and some trivia.
Well, I do want to say real quick because my voice was going. MC Hammer also won the Oaks with Light.
Oh,
Light won the Oaks. There we go. Sorry.
okay. Light.
Okay, Ren. I mean, y'all know Ren.
Yeah.
She's a wealth of knowledge. She's literally an encyclopedia in her brain. It's amazing.
But that's why I'm eccentric, because I'm Rolodexing constantly in my head.
Eccentric, but we love her for it.
It's true.
All right. Ren, I keep winning. So now
I know.
So now I want like a prize, since I am gonna win.
Well, we're all gonna be at Derby. Should that be part of the?
Oh, we got to do something together at Derby. We have
Someone's got to be on the line here.
I don't.
I don't know. You're good at these things. What should it be? I don't have a horse to name like we did.
Oh gosh.
I would say we'd have to buy a drink, but drinks are
free,
all included at the Derby, which I just found out, so that'll be fun.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to sit and
Comment
think on it,
give
marinate
us
it.
a comment if you have ideas for what our prize should be for who wins this Derby trivia.
Yeah. Okay. Question number 1. Are y'all ready?
So ready.
Okay. How many undefeated Kentucky Derby winners have there been from 34 undefeated entrants? Is it 9, 5, or 13?
Wait, so you're saying there were 34 horses in the Derby
in total
who
in the
came
history
into the Derby undefeated.
Uh-huh.
So how many of those won?
How many of those went on to win the Derby? Correct. 9, 5, or 13? Okay.
9.
5, I think, because you had Nyquist, Seattle Slew, Justify.
All right.
I'm trying to think of the other 2.
5. Ooh, I'm just gonna say 9. And
5.
Everyone is saying
5.
that in the comments.
See, I just like to be dissenting.
And Alexa, you're locked in at 9.
God, I know I'm wrong, but let's just go with it.
Alexa, you're actually right.
Oh, okay.
It's 9 horses.
That's incredible.
And
I knew that.
Name them all.
For a bonus point, who was the most recent horse to accomplish that?
Can I get a point?
Yeah.
Buzz in.
It would be Justify.
Correct.
Oh, tie game.
Tied game. There we go. 2018. Yeah, Justify. Last fella to do it.
Craft Player was wrong on the number of horses, but correct on, and same with Roshan. So, all right, guys, let's go.
Okay.
Next one. It's 1-1.
This one is a bit of a wild card. I don't know how good you guys are with like distance or understanding.
I understand distance.
Okay. How long is the stretch at Churchill Downs?
Oh, I know this one. Okay.
Is it 1,234 feet, 1,500 feet, or 2,345 feet?
1,234 feet.
Okay, Ren.
If you make it obvious that you know the answer,
I'm going to say
Alexa's
1,234 feet.
I know, how cool is that? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Do you think they
That's
did that on
Almost like it was by design.
It has to be. It has to be by design.
Oh my gosh, do you have that little tidbit about the Twin Spires? Because I thought that was so cool.
Yeah. So to reiterate what we did in trivia last week, the Twin Spires were not part of the original construction of Churchill Downs, although they've been there a long time. Okay, since 1895. And the architect that drafted up the design for that was 24, which
that's so cool.
Is amazing.
Wait, what year was that?
1895.
I had like a dark thought though. I was
What?
like, is that more like 40 our time?
That's true. The life expectancy back then.
Not that
I think that
Wait a second. Hold up.
They were like eating lead.
That's still cool. Like he was in the prime of his career. He's already had 7 children.
Yeah. Yeah. Was
Um,
married at 16, was ready to go.
Hilarious.
Okay, pertinent to this year's Kentucky Derby.
Ready. Okay, Ren, be good.
I know. I need a better. I do not play poker for
Do not
obvious
play poker.
reasons.
That's what I was gonna say. Like,
Don't take this girl to
OMG.
Vegas. Don't take her. True or false? Frankie Dettori has never ridden in the Kentucky Derby before.
So for me, what I want to say that's true because it's so shock and awe. Like, what?
When you think about it, yeah, the British racing season that he had done his whole career perfectly lines up.
But this, Roshan says false. I'm gonna go with true because I'm thinking about, would this question really be a trivia question if it was false?
Okay, Ren?
I'm gonna say, gosh, that is like now I'm second guessing. I'm gonna say
Oh,
false.
and with Crafty saying true.
I'm gonna say false. I know he's riding Society Man in this year's Derby, but I'm gonna say false. I feel like he's ridden in it once before. But
Who's right?
Okay, the drum roll, please. Ren is correct. So in the year 2000,
Wow.
Frank
in the year 2000,
came and rode in the Kentucky Derby, and I believe he finished 6th place. But now that he's kind of pulled the David Beckham, the Lionel Messi, and has made a big to-do of, I'm retiring, I'm done, and now I'm going to go to America and dominate. So I think that this is really exciting. That was something that I personally didn't know, because a lot of times you see those global superstar jockeys. This is a race that they want to win, but for the season of racing that he was in England, it just didn't ling up that way.
yeah.
Okay, here's a fun one. What is Dornock's nickname in the barn? Is it Bing Bong,
Oh,
Doorknob, or Knocker?
Whoa. I need a repeat of all three of those.
Okay, Dornock, the horse that's in the Kentucky Derby, is it Bing Bong, Doorknob, or Knocker? What everyone in his barn calls him.
I'm gonna say Knocker.
I'm gonna say Bing Bong.
Ren is right.
No!
Ren is right. It's Knocker.
Damn.
Okay.
I like Bing Bong. I was thinking back to our interview with Jason Wirtz, which we will have that for you in the near future. And I could just imagine him saying Bing Bong.
I could picture that too. I feel, honest to goodness, I could kind of hear him saying Bing Bong.
Yeah, but no.
No.
Bing Bong.
Where did we get Bing Bong as an option for that, by the way?
This girl's brain.
Which, by the way, there's an article up on America's Best Racing website that has all the information about nicknames, favorite treats, quirks about some of the horses.
That's fun.
That's super fun, which is how I learned that Society Man is apparently really short because his nickname is Shorty. So that's the horse that Frankie Dettori's riding. And everyone's like, he's just short and stout. And so Shorty is his nickname. Okay.
It'll be easy to do the flying dismount if he wins.
You better.
It's 2-4 right now.
Okay.
Alexa, I'm not counting you out, but
Better not.
this one might help level. It's an over under.
How many questions do we have? How many?
So
are we
either
doing?
choose over or under. How many roses adorn the winner's circle? Is it more or less than 2,000?
I'm gonna go more.
I was gonna say more.
Okay.
But
I guess you can choose the same thing, even though it's an either
We
or.
can, but I gotta make up ground. So now I get into game theory, right? Because my whole introduction here is playing in tournaments. I'm super, super competitive.
Guys, swerve when I win.
It's a true sickness. So I'm like, you know what? Even if it's a wrong answer, it's the only thing that can get me back in the game. But actually, how many questions are left? Can I get back?
I think that we have 3.
Okay, I have to go against the better judgment and say under.
Okay. And this was a tough one. It's 2,100 roses adorn the winner's circle.
Okay.
Continuing on with the roses, do you know how many roses are hand sewn into the winner's garland? Is it 200, 400, or 600?
Ooh.
This is like those games when you're at a party and it's like, guess how many kisses are in the jar, and you get the whole thing. And you're
I know, right?
I got 700 kisses.
Don't worry. The next questions will go back to more horse
I'm imagining
racing.
like 1, 2, 3, 4.
But these are like random guesses. I don't see anyone piping up in the comments saying,
I'm gonna go.
we know the roses now. And it was
I'm gonna go 400.
400, 600?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 400.
600.
400?
Oh,
600?
Yeah.
Oh,
It is 400.
Ren is
Ren is
just
cleaning up.
savaging me. She's
I'm
like,
sorry.
she said,
I love you though. I love you.
Four-
I would hug you right now to console you. I'm sorry.
400 roses, which by the way weighs 40 pounds.
Oh my
Okay?
gosh. Well,
The
you know,
garland of roses, 40 pounds.
Wow.
I've held the blanket that they drape over the winner of the Preakness before. That thing, I added 2 arm it. Yeah, it's heavy.
Ren's doing squats. Ren's
Yeah.
getting her workout on with the
It
garland of
is.
roses.
Okay. Who was the first female jockey to ride in the Kentucky Derby? Was it Julie Crone, Rosina Pravnik, or Diane Crump?
Ooh.
Rose.
I'm gonna say Julie Crone.
Okay, you are both wrong.
Oh, it was Diane Crump.
It
She
was
the-
Diane Crump in 1970.
That's not the first time. Hey, Bobby, you missed it.
Bobby.
You missed it.
Yeah, you missed
I'm
our
drinking water.
Our unbottling, our
I'm bored. I'm boring. I don't. You know.
And
It's
it's
a rosé.
sparkling
it's a champagne
champagne.
rosé. It's delicious. Yes. So
I think that this is a bit of a runaway train as far as Ren.
Ren has art. Like I'm embarrassed.
Ren
I am
crushing.
utterly and completely.
But you know what?
It's just because I'm feeling better now.
She can have the chance to have the last laugh when her Derby picks might.
Yes.
Who knows?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Who knows?
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
We can round this out with one more question, even though it appears
It's fine. Just
Might be
be
how it
honest.
is.
Maybe I can get.
What
How about we leave this one for the? How about we just leave this one for the viewers?
No.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
But they can still get
Absolutely
involved. Okay. What's the largest margin of victory in the Kentucky Derby?
Didn't we?
Is it 4, 6, or 8 lengths?
I'm saying 6.
I'm gonna go with 8.
Ren gets it again. 8 lengths is the biggest winning margin
I'm
of
fired.
the Kentucky Derby.
I'm so fired. Well, you heard my story where the 143rd is the only one I've been to. So we'll blame it on that. No, not really, Ren. You killed it.
Congratulations,
Killed it.
Ren.
8. Wait, who was 8? Do you have that?
Yeah. So
was-
the 4 different horses won by 8 lengths,
Wow.
which was Old Rosebud in 1914.
How
which is
fitting.
the most 1914 horse name I've ever heard in my life.
Absolutely.
Old Rosebud. Johnstown in 1939, Whirl Away in 1941, and Assault in 1946.
Two
So it's
Triple
been a
Crown winners.
long time. It's been a very long
Well,
time.
racing, gets more and more competitive as the years
Well, isn't that
go
cool though? That two of the 4 horses to have the biggest margin are both Triple Crown champions. So that's pretty cool.
It makes
That is
sense.
cool.
And I think a lot of people would be shocked that it was not, in fact, Secretariat. So,
He was saving that for the Belmont.
yeah, he
Yeah.
was saving up that go-go juice. So that wraps up our
Cheers with the
Derby
go-go
trivia.
juice. This is our go-go juice.
Cheers.
This is my go-go juice. Ren's water.
Yeah, wonderful.
And we're going to think, again, everyone that's in the comments, what should Ren's prize /
Ooh,
Alexa's
Look
punishment
at Donald.
be?
Fierceness may break it.
Oh my gosh. Whoa. Those are some big
Donald.
fighting words
Those are
for
some fighting words.
winning the Kentucky Derby. Okay. Well,
Oh,
clearly
okay.
the conversation is now we're in full
transitioning.
2024 Derby mode
We're serious business here.
now that
okay?
everyone's in the mood.
But really, we want to talk about the Derby because that is why we're here, right? However, before we do that, I do want to show you Right. Oh no, it's not. It's not a no. It's really cool, actually. I want to show you what I mentioned earlier, this interview that we had with Jason Worth, some of the highlights from it. So for those of you that don't know, Jason Worth is a Major League Baseball retired player, all-star player, won the World Series, and got into horse racing, part owner in Dornoch in the Derby, and a really new owner, but obviously has the horse racing gods really blessed him with this experience. So we did have him on our show, and everything he has to say is just so interesting. So we're going to give you a preview of that.
So how long have you been an owner? Because you've had wild success for just jumping
Don't
in.
say that.
I mean, okay, for those who don't know,
No pressure.
Dornoch,
Yes.
part owner in Dornoch.
Right place, right time. Was here at Keeneland a couple years ago at the yearling sale. It's crazy to think, I kind of get into racing, like get a couple horses here and there, and like, all right, let's go to sales. That sounds fun.
They are fun.
And and it was bought some nice horses. Well, every horse you buy, you think is nice, right?
Yeah,
right.
That's why you spend
I've
the
only
money.
been in horse racing for 2 years, but I know that when you buy a horse, you think it's nice.
I always say
Regardless
every
of how it
horse
turns out.
is the Kentucky Derby winner until they run for the first time, but you might actually have a Kentucky
Yeah,
Derby winner.
you don't know. So I was at the bar here, and I went to the right side of the bar, not the left, and run into Danny Gargan and his crew, and like bought the right guy a drink, and we started talking. Next thing I know, Danny's like, "Hey, we got this great horse," and at that time, like he's talking about good magic and all these things that I have no idea what he's talking about.
Was this before
Exactly.
Is this before his full brother Mage had won the Kentucky Derby?
Oh, of course.
Oh my God.
So I was just like, I'm like, yeah. He's like, you want 10%? And the funny part is, he offered my partner Rich Averill. He offered him the same deal.
Oh my gosh.
And Rich was like, Rich does fillies.
Oh.
So Rich is like,
He's
no
given
way.
up on the Derby dream. No,
Right.
Colt.
So I was like,
Fine.
just almost to spite Rich, I was like, hell yeah, I'm in. Like,
Oh, wow.
and like, so that sale or that year, I bought 5 colts, parts of 5 colts. Dornoch was one. Drip was the other, and Drip was live after his broke his maiden, I think at Fairgrounds maybe, but he was going to run at Tampa Bay in the Tampa Bay Derby, and he would have been the favorite. He ran like a 94, 95 buyer, and he would probably have been like 2 to 5 in that race. He scratched the week of going over, so like I literally had a chance to have
How
two
crazy.
Derby horses.
That is
Well,
wild.
after you bought into him, though, when you're watching last year's Kentucky Derby, watching Mage cross the wire first, what's going through your head?
Well, we're sitting in the Winter Circle suites, the last suite, and I own parts of Dornoch, and we're all over Mage because Forte snapped Mage at in the Florida Derby,
Right.
Yep.
and we're like, you know what, we were like, we had Mage and like in all the exotics, everything, fix 5, fix 6, whatever. So when Mage won it, we acted actually probably more ridiculous than the people that won the
people
Derby. Like people were congratulating us because like people around us were like, oh my God, they won the Derby because of how like ridiculous we acted or whatever. And it was like, we won the Derby, but it really was like, oh my God, like what are the chances that we, that we got Dornoch, Mage's full brother.
You kind of did win. Like,
I was like,
How do you compare a horse to like an athlete like
Yeah.
that? Because I mean, you're obviously a professional athlete, and these horses are too.
That's the part of horse racing that I actually do get. Like I see the professional athlete side in these horses. Like their brilliance and what they do is a lot like what we did, what I did. So like the training, the travel, the hard times, like what it takes to get there, all that stuff. Like the cool part for me is the horses.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I think they're amazing. I think that's the cool part in racing. And then like so I get into this and I start learning and I see like how brilliant these guys are and what amazing like athletes and creatures they are. Like that's the cool part. That's the part I think everyone's missing. Like the struggle's real. Like I mean, how often do they win? I mean, like it's hard work. I always tell people, they're like, what's the key to being like a successful big leaguer? It's like staying like this. Don't let anything bother you or whatever.
Yeah.
Horse racing is like.
Do you get like that too? Because I
it's
run
amazing.
a small racing syndicate, and we have one running tomorrow as well. Not in any type of race like you're in, and I'm already.
It's at Tampa.
Okay, it's okay. I will not knock the race. It's a great race. It's a $53,000 allowance
Right.
race. It's
Love
awesome. I'm
Tampa.
super proud.
I'm not picking your horse now, okay?
But we're not going for the Derby, okay? But but I'm already a little like nervous and excited. Like, do you feel that, or are you just like, you've been here, you've done that, you played in the World Series, it doesn't faze you?
Yeah, no, the complete opposite, right? So it's like, this is what I tell everybody: like, horse racing is the greatest game. It is the best game. You can be running a 16 claimer at Tampa, and if you own the horse,
Yeah.
not if you bet on the horse, if you own the horse, that's the difference. This is what I tell everybody: like, betting on it is nothing. You have to own the horse. When you own a horse, regardless if it's running the Kentucky Derby or in a 16 claimer at Tampa, when it comes around the turn and it runs down the front straightaway and you're running to the line and you own the horse, it is comparable to playing in the highest level of sports. And that is a fact.
Yes.
And that's what's so cool about horse
Nothing
racing.
like it. I agree. It's just like I'm getting chills right now thinking
Yeah,
about
me too.
it. Like,
Me
I
too.
mean, there's just
and I've been
nothing
there.
like
I've
it.
been at the highest level, and I can tell you that's what it feels like. It's crazy. And when you win, it's like winning a playoff game.
So
was
cool.
so cool.
I know, so cool. I mean, amazing. He's a great spokesperson for the sport too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, can you imagine winning the World Series and then saying horse racing is the best sport?
Right?
It's like,
Period.
Period. Absolutely.
He's standing on business, you know?
Mhm. But that leads us into this Kentucky Derby handicap analysis. So
So we're handicapping?
we got to do that. We got to do it. We got to give out some more winners. So, Dornock, what do you think?
Well, first of all, I would totally be over the moon for Jason and his team should Dornock come through with a Kentucky Derby win. As you know,
However,
I personally am not riding that horse, but again, I would be excited, ecstatic. It would be so cool to see that group. I mean, can you imagine the party?
Yeah. And beyond that, you know, being the full brother as the pedigree, you know, I
mean,
feel like
that-
you
it
would be so excited
an
about
amazing
that.
story, but it's really a tough. I mean, really a tough draw.
Giant.
To draw
Well, I mean,
one hole when you
For me, yeah,
are an
that
early
and
speed horse. It's just tough.
for that reason. And also, I mean, he did bring up a great point with the Remsen. I know we talk a lot about the rail bias helping the horse out, but he did bring up a great point. I went back and watched it. It is very true. Dornock bumped himself off the rail
I know.
and still ran so gamely. And not only the full brother to Mage, but John Stewart of Resolute Racing has Puka, the mom, and she just had a full brother born to them both a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
Triplets.
amazing line there for sure.
So you can guess who
So-
he's rooting for.
Yeah, we know who Jason's rooting for, and truly, it's like not that I know him now, but I would feel like
Yeah.
We know him. Come on, we know him.
Yeah. Jason, our king.
Yeah. we're
He was
rooting
so
for
cool.
Dornock in that sense. But I Dornock would be on the bottom of my exotics probably. So Ren, kick us off with who you do like.
Okay, well, I'm taking a lot of heat for this, but it's okay. I don't mind it. I'll take it.
He's ready.
And as I've said, if you're following me on Twitter, and by the way, we got a lot of people watching y'all. Like, guys, chime in. Don't be just quiet behind your
Yeah.
screen
Shout out
watching
to
it.
the audience.
Yeah, shout out to the audience. Okay, so a lot of people, if you follow me at Tampa, you know I am not scared of playing prices. I play prices all the time. I gave you a 14-1 shot on top the other day, and it was crickets from you all. But if you're right. So, but here's the thing. When I love a horse, when I fall in love with a horse, especially when it's a Derby horse, because I have very specific criteria I'm looking to see fulfilled when I'm looking for a Derby horse. There are boxes that need to be checked. And the horse that happens to check all my boxes for being the top pick for me in this year's edition of the Derby happens to be Fierceness. He's got it all going for him. I think he's tactical. He's got the pedigree to get the distance. He has run triple-digit buyers. He is, to me, the class of the field. Before, when we filmed our original spot with Rail Talk, it was before the scratch of Encino, which moves him in a post. So now there is another horse in there that does have some early foot. I don't care about the post part of it, but there is another horse now with some early foot to his outside. I'm not too concerned about that. So long, and this is a concern, and Alexa has brought this up, it's legitimate. Is this a horse that if he encounters problems, is he always going to pack it in? It's a legit question. I just think if he runs his race, he is going to be very, very tough to beat. And then you think, okay, well, maybe you like something underneath that's a better price. But no, I like Sierra Leone.
Ren's chalking out here, and I kind of am too. So yeah, I see this who's ready for the battle of fierceness, which is kind of funny because we're going to fight about it, and then I'm also going to use them on my ticket. Because here's the thing. I don't believe, like, this is the main disagreement between I don't believe that he had an excuse in the Holy Bull. Okay. I know he got hit coming out of the gate. I understand that it wasn't great, then that it was bad, but he got the position he wanted. He still overcame it. He got to the lead. He sat there right off the pace, and then he turned up empty in the stretch. So for me, it wasn't like, oh yeah, totally. No, absolutely not. Not an excuse. That doesn't mean that I think he's a bad horse. Obviously, I'm going to go ahead and say really only horse in here to truly have an over 100 buyer, because I know the only one that does have an over 100 buyer is Mystic Dan, who is a 101. But I was listening to the segment right before us where Andy Beyer himself said, take that with a grain of salt, because there was a really big bias that day, in the muddy track, and really probably not an accurate buyer figure for that horse. I know.
That's the man. Write that
down. The man himself.
The buyer of buyer figures.
The buyer of buyers said that might be a little skewed. So Fierceness, obviously 110. I think the average winning buyer for the Derby is 105. So this horse has already exceeded it. And it's true. But when I look at this race, like when I look at the Derby and all the different pace scenarios and things that can happen, I can see Fierceness getting that perfect tracking spot, that race he wants, taking it away, like frequently does happen in the Derby, right? Like out of the last 7 winners, we've only had one horse really come from off the pace, like truly. And that's Rich Strike. So yeah. So that being said, like I can see him getting that spot, taking it away, blowing it down, breaking the record, winning by 10, whatever. Like I can see that happening. I can also see him not getting the race he wants and just quitting, like, and just not doing anything. So
that's fair.
For me, I say I'm going to include him. It will be a little bit of, a price question too, right? Like what odds am I getting it on him? I think it was JK and PTF talking earlier where, I don't know, it was JK and somebody on one of the earlier segments. I've watched a lot of stuff today. But, they were like, what do you think?
You weren't just totally prepping for this?
What do you think we'll get? Like 5-2 on Fierceness and 7-2 on Sierra Leone. And I'm like, wow, like I wouldn't expect to get 7-2 odds on 2, like I was thinking more of a heavier favorite, but then again, it's the Derby. So I don't love Fierceness as much as Ren, but obviously 2-year-old champion, fabulous horse. If he gets the trip he wants, he'll be hard in here for sure.
Can I just say, like, based on what you said with the gate situation? Oh, I'm sorry, Rachel. I'm just gonna say this real quick.
The
reason the gate
let it out.
The reason the gate situation was such a dramatic thing to me, and why I do think it is such an excuse, is because not only was it bad because he was bumped between horses, he was carried out several strides. So it wasn't just a bump. It was several strides forward carried. And then he rushed up. And so rush up after that had already happened. And as you said, he got the position he wanted, but it took a lot to have to overcome that to then rush up. And he had not run since the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. Yeah. So the layoff on top of the start, on top of then rushing up, and then later, not exactly having a ground saving trip. I think all of that is what contributed to him not coming through as the favorite that day. But your concerns are absolutely legitimate.
Well, on our Florida Derby live stream, I mean, you were like mega Fierceness, and I was like, no. And then you proved me wrong. Like very hardcore proved me wrong. So, that could very well happen.
Could happen.
What about you, Rachel? Where are you going, girl?
Well, I'm curious to ask you guys and to poll everyone that's watching, if you believe in the alternating starts theory with Fierceness.
You already know my thought.
Being on to off.
I don't think it's like a rule, Yeah. But I do think it's very possible they just didn't have him tuned up for that. I mean, he seems to be tuned up, right? The works.
Did you hear Todd Pletcher's comment the other day? No. So they were saying, how are you feeling? And he's like, I wish the race was today.
Like he's locked, loaded.
Yeah, he is locked and ready to go.
We've got some people. So this says 7-5 early pool Fierceness. So yeah, and then we have Forever Young.
I don't know what to think of that horse. I really don't.
Catching Freedom.
Catching Freedom's my third pick. Catching Freedom. That Louisiana Derby. This is the word I keep using. That Louisiana Derby. The way in which he closed after also taking some bumping coming off the turn, and then he was late to change leads, got changed leads, and then accelerated. That was spectacular. I think that's a real class racehorse.
I think that, to me, Catching Freedom and Sierra Leone are kind of comparable as far as they need the pace to set up the race for them to be able to close in a dramatic way.
I'm going to disagree with you on that.
Really? I think that Catching Freedom needs...
I don't think Sierra Leone needs a fast pace.
No, right.
Sierra Leone
he's a beast.
Okay, I don't think Sierra Leone is a deep closer necessarily. I mean, I know
that's just the way that it's worked out for him.
But not always. Like, he's come from like closer off the pace in some of his races. And I think once they added the blinkers, that helped him be more forwardly placed so that he didn't have that issue. So I think obviously he's a closer, but I don't think he needs to come from way off the pace. I think they can bring him closer. I also think that, the Bluegrass was blazing fast. So that was a great pace setup. But it was a slower pace, and he closed.
They closed over. Yeah, they closed without pace assistance. The other thing I'd say about just one of my favorite little tidbits, because we love DRF, we love Formulator, and one of the things you could check out on Formulator, if you went on there and you check out, for example, the Remsen and why Sierra Leone had such a buzz about him. Although I got to give props to Matt Carothers because he loved him before anybody. He loved him off the first race. Thanks a lot, Bobby. So anyway, so Sierra Leone in the Remsen, that was his horse. Like, Matt was alive in like the pick 5 or something. And so he thought he had the race won at that point when Sierra Leone came up alongside Dornoch. He thought he was going to blow right by him, right? But then Dornoch was able to come back.
No, Dornoch coming back was wild.
But there was that pronounced rail bias on that day, and the only other horse to close like that still didn't win, but the only other horse to close like that on that day was Senor Buscador, who then went on to win the Saudi Cup. So that was really, really something that gave people the buzz about Sierra Leone to begin with. And so I think he's a class racehorse. I think he's going to come rolling, whether the pace is ill. I think it will be hot, but I don't think that he needs it. And I think the same thing is true with Catching Freedom. I think he can come over a little bit of a pace. I would say as a bomb type horse, I would not put it past Domestic Product to grind out onto the board. I really would.
Domestic Product.
Domestic Product. I know. I keep hearing people bringing him up. Just not really for me.
It's okay. I
higher, like 80 something.
Yeah, but see, this is another horse who has not had pace to run it. And when he was coming down the stretch in the Tampa Bay Derby, I was there. He's bumping around with Grand Mo the first as they're both trying to close into like no pace. And he got up on the wire, and it was a really cool thing to see that horse be able to get up despite that type of adversity. He's in between horses. It was this really dramatic finish to the wire. And I will also say, I know he's by Practical Joke, but he's got a lot of stamina coming through with his dam being by Painter. I think a lot of people forget Painter is by Awesome Again. Awesome Again won the Classic. And then Painter's mom is a full sister to Tisnow, who won the Classic twice. So he's getting a lot of stamina from that back end. And when you see this horse in person, he's a big, beautiful, two-turn looking horse. And with the composite, the way that Churchill is, the surface, I do think it might be very kind to him. So like I said, maybe not necessarily as a win candidate, but maybe a horse to put in your super.
I have a win candidate that morning line 10-1. I don't know if it'll go off. I like Just a Touch a lot. Got second in the Bluegrass to Sierra Leone and was right there on the lead that entire race, which was a really fast pace. So he stuck around on that fast pace. So that gives me confidence that he's not going to be, tiring and fading in the stretch. Because a lot of times, really, with the Derby, you don't have to be amazing to get up in the money, right? It's just you have to be able to make the distance.
Yeah, you got to just get past all of the horses that are lagging and burnout.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's genuinely the most important thing when picking a horse is to find one that has that tenacity, that has that edge, because an expert ride from a jockey to be able to navigate them through all of the traffic of 15 horses that are maybe fading in that final stretch.
Can I just say, as a horse girl, girl, he is super pretty. He is super. I love that. He's pretty.
Yeah. But also, we haven't talked about this yet. The likelihood of there being moisture in the track on Saturday.
That could
how
happen.
many horses have truly faced that so far? And Just a Touch is one that's not only faced it, but one in the slot, one in the slot in his first out. So for me, I know
his first 2 races, right? Weren't they both off track?
They were both in the slot, but he's only won 1 race. He won that first race, and the next 2.
Well, I mean, he handled it though. He handled it.
He got second by 2 lengths in the next one. So that's a horse that is fine with there being.
Well, the thing, my little pedigree thing for those who like to handicap off track. I'm not a Tomlinson's person. I know a lot of people like Tomlinson's, but they miss a lot of the pedigree, of course. But I will say there are definitely certain sire lines that, and for me, anything AP Indy. So AP Indy, if you see his name, if you see Tap It, if you see, because Tap It is by Pulpit by AP Indy. So obviously you've got that there, and Justify, of course, Just a Touch is by Justify, and we know that he handled an off track just fine. But there are certain lines that definitely can handle off going. Another thing I would say visually, if you haven't gotten your bet in, I know a lot of us, we don't care what we see on the track. Once we've done our handicapping, we're not going to let certain things sway us. I'm that type. I mean, unless a horse is really, truly having a meltdown in post parade, I don't change my bets. I don't know about you.
No, I'm the same way. I've never been a physical handicapper. Like those who know me, I'm very data driven. I'm very data-based. Now, every now and then I'll see a horse like on the feed where I'm like, oh my God, I got to go bet that horse. It's amazing. But so I'm usually looking at a horse will get me on a horse, but it usually won't take me off of a horse.
Right.
So yeah, I totally agree. But it's cool that we have all these clocker reports, everything coming out, and we're really getting to see these horses as we get closer and closer to the big day, like what state they're in, how ready they are.
Oh yeah, and we've been getting live videos from the backside on America's Best Racing every morning. Our fantastic social
Thanks
media
for busting your butt.
Yeah, Isabella Leslie is out there live streaming.
She rode the camels. She won.
A camel jockey, and also
I thought I was the camel jockey.
It's
so.
Oh my God! I saw a video of her riding a camel in Dubai and winning a race, and I'm like, amazing. I'm jealous.
Yeah,
I want to ride a camel.
It should have not that I'm low key jealous because I'm actually Middle Eastern, so I'm low key jealous.
Okay,
I'm like, if somebody's gonna go ride a camel in the desert.
This is insane and true story. One of my bucket list items, childhood dreams, is to ride an ostrich. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Swiss Family Robinson. Have you seen that movie? No? Okay. That was one of the movies we watched a lot growing up. We had limited movies.
They had the tree, right? The Swiss Family Robinson.
Never in my life once have I had cable. So we had limited selections. I didn't grow up on Disney Channel. I grew up on true Disney classics and Swiss Family Robinson. And there is an ostrich and zebra riding situation in that movie. And ever since then, I've been.
If really can make this happen, Alexa,
anyone can help with that.
We get a hold of Jimmy from Hawthorne because they have the Wild Race Day.
I'll be there.
Yeah, sign Alexa up.
Sign me up for that. But no, okay, so
bucket list.
I want to make sure we get to our Oaks as well.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I personally feel like there's more value to be had in the Oaks than there is in the Derby. So my Derby selections recapping is 2 Sierra Leone, 8 Just a Touch, 17 Fierceness, probably actually Track Phantom before Fierceness.
I'm a little concerned with him from a distance perspective.
I am too.
On the bottom side.
I understand, but also, I like that he'll be up there.
Yeah,
yeah.
You can hope he can at least dig in for a piece there.
Dig in for the piece of it. Dig in for the bottom of those exotics. That's kind of what I'm hoping for on him. I don't really think he can win, but you never know. What are you? Who's your final pick, Rachel?
So I'm vying for Sierra Leone, which I know is but he looks fantastic. What I was getting at is Isabella, the videos that she's gotten of these horses, and then I'm editing them together in social clips. Sierra Leone looks great.
That's very true. You're right.
And Catching Freedom looks really good. So in the show that we did with Rail Talk, I hadn't initially included him, but I think little Sierra Leone, Catching Freedom, Domestic Product is who I used in my super on Rail Talk as well. And now Ren's getting in on the action. And I think Just a Touch is an interesting one as well.
I agree.
Lightly raced.
I think that's a great long shot
So
opportunity.
that's kind of where I'm at, and I
Wait, did you say Just Steel? Is that who you said?
Just Steel was one that I had been
you
liking,
said Just
and
a
then
Touch.
that's
Okay.
one that
I already thought that.
Yeah.
I agree. Like I didn't just talk about it a whole bunch.
So
okay, Ren, you go.
Ren.
Oh, what? Oh,
Fierceness.
no. I was just saying, I was real quick. I see Donald said Stronghold has the best Tomlinson for the distance. He says, again, I don't go by Tomlinson's because, again, you're leaving out the entire female family by looking at that. So you're leaving a lot. It's like making a cake and you've left out a bunch of recipes from the cake when you're looking at Tomlinson's. And also on the face of it, he's out of a Jimmy Creed mare. So I don't know about a mile and a quarter for him, but I don't want to talk you off him. If you like him, you go for it.
We don't talk people off horses, but also
we don't talk people off horses. If you like it, you go for it. Because I've been proven wrong plenty in my life.
I will be very happy if Stronghold wins because I have a piece of a future bet on this horse that would pay about 200 to 1. So
very nice.
Stronghold wins. I will be jumping up and down. Okay.
So so am I going over like what my picks are? Okay.
Just like quick. Like
okay. Fierceness, Sierra Leone.
Okay.
Then Catching Freedom, because I know, I've got him in morning line order. Like I knew that when I did it. Like, well, I knew the Fierceness in the Sierra Leone. I didn't know Catching Freedom. I was surprised. I thought like, for example, Forever Young was going to be the buzz horse and be a shorter price or something. Or, Just a Touch has a lot of buzz about him too. But in any case, so Catching Freedom is my third pick. Then I like Honor Marie. I think this is a horse who can certainly move up off that last effort. He's right there with Catching Freedom. So those are my top 4. But I think as bombs, if you're looking for it, I would use Catalytic, one of the best families in the entire stud book. You've got plenty of Derby winners in there, Derby runner-ups, classic type horses. And again, I think Domestic Product can grind his way up.
Quick, Ren. I said quick.
That was quick. I'm done.
Okay. Let's pivot to the Oaks. Because again, I am excited about this. To me, when I was going through the Oaks and handicapping,
do you love a horse?
Man, I felt like it was really wide open. Some of the shows I've done this week, people have disagreed with me. I know you saw my show earlier on the feed if you were watching the DerbyThon earlier with Roberto, and he's like singling Ways and Means. And Ways and Means may beat me, absolutely. But she, in my opinion, no one is a single in this race, in my opinion. I think there's a lot of really good options.
I'm going to let her beat me too.
Sorry?
I'm going to let her beat me.
You're going to see, I am too. I'm going to let her she was my 5th, and I was trying to keep the cost of my ticket down. So I on my Oaks Derby double. So I cut her out of there and only had 4. But my 4 I'll go over is Where's My Ring?
Oh yeah, I like that one too.
Okay, where's my ring, y'all? No, seriously, this horse, the number 3, won the Gazelle last time out. Impressive. For me, everything changed when they added blinkers on her. So that's been the last 3 races. And you see on those buyers, boom, goes up. How many is that? Math time, 16 points that, when they add blinkers the next out. And I don't know, constantly improving. I like the pace setup for her in the race. I think, her riding style is to kind of sit off and close, but she's also got like a really good early speed rating in the race. So I think she'll have options, which I like that in the Oaks. I like that in any of these big races. I like that in any race, right? But I really like when you have options, especially on this big day. And when you have the crazy crowd and everything going on, it's nice to be a versatile horse. So I really like that. Our morning line is 15 to 1. So that excites me. Another one that's a long shot is the number 12 Power Squeeze.
I would be so happy for Danny Centeno.
Right? 12 to 1 morning line. Coming off 4 wins. Boom, 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 boom. The last one out was Gulfstream. Boom, 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 boom. Thank you. I'm
here for sound effects.
I just need you.
Nothing else.
Following me around in my life, sound effecting it.
I can ad-lib the rest of this show if you want me to.
Just, what's the word? Wrong word in my brain. What is it called when you're like, blah, blah, blah.
Scatting?
Oh my
God. Yeah.
Rachel's just going to follow me around scatting, which also doesn't sound very good. Okay, anyway, back to Power Squeeze. Okay, she beat Ways and Means last out. Now, do I think Ways and Means was like fully cranked and ready that race? Probably not. I mean, she, if you don't know, came off of an injury, long layoff. So, and obviously, you know, the goal was probably the Oaks, not that race. However, I still just think the pace sets up really well for Power Squeeze, just sitting right off. It should be an honest pace. So, yeah. And the other two I like are a little bit lower odds, the 5 Torpedo Anna and the 14 Leslie's Rose. Ren, who do you got?
Okay, so Torpedo Anna, if I were going to single in this race, it would be her. I mean, if you look back, yeah, I mean, the Goldenrod, if you watch the start of that race, she was on the outside and she was just like, the gates open. She's like, oh, and then she went out and then she had to rush up. And then she, you know, she had spent herself a little bit doing all of that. I think that was a really nice prep coming into here last out, or, you know, in the fantasy. When she drew up by 4 lengths, she was doing it like she was relishing crushing those other fillies. So I think this is a really talented racehorse. We've seen McPeak come through in big days like this. And so, yeah, she would be my top pick. Then I'm a little chalky here with Leslie's Rose. I really liked that performance last out in the Ashland. I wasn't sure what to make of her because of the Devona Dale situation. I think it might have just been one, she was having an off day. Maybe she didn't have a lot of pace to run at. You've got that 1 turn mile there at Gulfstream. I don't know. But she came back here like a good thing. And there's something I love about, you know, they talk about how Churchill can be kind of turfy types. And I love the fact she's by Galileo. So I don't know. That's why I like her. And then I think, just FYI, we shouldn't just toss her out. I think she's a horse who may have really needed a race. She had a lot of ground loss during the course of the Ashland. So going to give her another shot. So those are the 3 I'm going to use. And I'm going to use them over Sierra Leone, Catching Freedom.
Ren, we agree for the most part.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Try it again.
Try it again.
Yeah,
You're on the wrong side. You got to be on this side.
Wrong way. Okay, we give up.
But it's just, should be this.
You're using the wrong hand is the problem.
I'm using the wrong hand.
Yeah, see? Nope. Okay. No, but really,
I'm directionally challenged on top of being eccentric. But yeah, and then I would use Fierceness and you know, my top 4 from the Derby, I'd use them with those 3.
Yeah, Leslie's Rose, I agree. You know, she again, one who has tactical speed, which is something to appreciate for sure.
And her mom is a half sister to my Miss Sophia, who was second in the Kentucky Oaks.
There you go.
Period.
Connections. But no, I mean, Pletcher also has won this 4 times before, most recently with Malathat in 2021. Yeah. So we love a trainer that has proven that he can prep and get ready for this type of race. I'm trying to see if there are any points on Torpedo Anna that I thought that you didn't mention. I don't think so. I just loved how, you know, she came back after that layoff.
Oh, yeah.
She came back like a block. The horse that we saw on her first 2 starts. You know, we saw this. I mean, truly, if you look at her first start won by 8.5 lengths, second start won by 9 lengths, then kind of had a little bit of a clunker going on there. And you're like, take a break. And then you're like, okay, what horse are you now? And she showed us lifetime best by a lot, came back and just once again dominated. So to me, that's really promising. Again, that was March 30th. So,
and Kenny McPeak has been second in this race a number
and Brian
of times.
Hernandez,
The trainer,
great connections there. So,
what do you like, Rachel?
Okay, so my 3 are the 13, just FYI. The 3, Where's My Ring, and the 14, Leslie's Rose.
Okay, so we're on
par. Did any of us mention the 8 horse?
Tarifa? No, we probably should.
Tarifa, who is, you know.
There's a lot of really strong. I mean, this race is really competitive.
Yes.
And, you know, Tarifa might just take it away. Absolutely. But for me, with the odds.
Kyle. Wire to wire. That's confident.
Yeah, no.
That's a great picture there.
That is a great picture.
Celebration. Bobby has the same profile picture.
Get those arms up, girl. Come on.
We love it.
Lex is not playing.
His classic burgundy on that he always has. No traffic trouble stalking. Leslie can sit the trip. Would agree. But no, I think it's going to be, I'm really excited. I'm excited to be there. I know we have to wrap up here in just a minute, but I can't wait. Thank you to Ren. Thank you to John Green, who got me a ticket to the Derby last minute, so I can go.
She calls me last night and she's like,
I called in a favor. I called in a favor.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. But no, it's really gonna be so much fun. I hope everybody, whether you're there or whether you're tuning in, I hope you win your bets. But more than that, I hope you just have a lot of fun, because this is the weekend we've been waiting for, following these horses for so long. So safe trips and fun for everybody. We'll catch you at the Kentucky Derby.
bye, guys.
It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than americasbestracing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle, the best races, horses, and destination venues, cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. americasbestracing.net is a sport for you.